So, after watching a live stream from one of my favorite YouTubers, Voice Legend, I decided to make this live stream myself because, well, I got inspired by another Voice Legend and felt like that I needed to say something about this because something doesn't really feel right at all. Like, it sure as hell doesn't. Glitches in video games. That's the title of today's episode of Crash Bandicoot Plush talks about. Please insert random ass name in the title. Which I don't even know if this is a series or not. Anyways, all jokes about past live streams aside of stuff that I talked about, and let's just jump into this. Now, glitches in video games, are they fun or not? Well, no. They're not. I'm gonna be completely honest, like, glitches in video games are not the best in the slightest. I mean, look at Sonic 06. Unfinished, and it was, well, I don't know how to say it, but, let's just say it was rushed. It looked pretty rushed if you ask me. And I would question Sega about Sonic 06. Why couldn't you delay the release date for the game? That's what I like to know. Why couldn't you make a little better release date for Sonic the Hedgehog 2006's release? Well, I don't know really. But all I know is that, I mean, they might say the game might be rushed or something, or they didn't have enough time, or the fans were wanting to get the game so badly. They want to get their hands on the game and play it. Like, they just don't even care anymore. And you really want to have a game that's rushed and has glitches like Sonic 06? No. And look at, okay, let's just take a moment and think about this. What if Sonic 06 wasn't rushed? What if it wasn't rushed at all? I mean, what if Sega took all the time they need just to make a game? Well, Sonic 06 could have been great. Or the glitches, and I know story is bad enough as it is, and it could have had a better story as well. But nope, it had to be rushed. Either A, because they had to get it on a deadline, or B, fans. That's two ways, like, this could all go down. Either because of the due date, and they had to rush it, or B, they had to rush it because of the fan base. I mean, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy was rushed, despite being in development for 3 years. True story. It took 3 years just to make Insane Trilogy with the same engine you would see. Actually, the same engine that was used for the Skylanders franchise. And next thing you know, well, it just looks like Skylanders in Crash 1, 2, and 3. Which, okay, some of the levels have, well, the graphics in some levels aren't really the best, sure. I mean, am I still going to enjoy the game? Well, that's a possibility, ladies and gentlemen. If it has glitches, then, well, a lot of glitches, then no. I mean, when I played Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, the only glitches I experienced were the ones in Crash 2. And those are like a couple of glitches there. Like, only 2 glitches I've experienced. The one in, I believe it would be like, what was it, Hang 8? It was like one of those levels. And Barrett. That's about it. Well, I'm going to name those glitches. Well, the first one, Crash was on a jet ski and the whirlpool. I mean, it should have killed Crash. I mean, go sucked him in. But no, he had the power of. And, well, Crash is, well, basically Ermac from Mortal Kombat. There's another glitch where, let's see, I bumped into this one before, where I was just minding my own business in one of the bear levels. I believe it was like Barrett or Totally Bear. And experienced a glitch where, well, people were probably stopped or face planted in one of the objects, and Crash also face planted one of the objects, but it turns out he's Superman. And flying with crazy, I was like, wait, what? I mean, that second glitch to me was like, oh my god, that was actually funny, but do you think it will be funny after a couple minutes? Well, no, not really. I mean, sure, it may be a funny glitch, but it's still not really a good thing. Like, it's never a good thing to have glitches in the game. It really isn't. And that's, like, the truth. No video game would ever want to have any glitches, like, whatsoever. No video game would have any, like, nobody would ever want to have a video game that's glitches, period. I mean, I sure as hell don't want to have a video game that has, like, tons of glitches every 5 seconds, or hell, every second of it. So I'll just be, well, I would want to get my money back. I mean, trust me, I would. If I got the game from the store. But if I got it from either a Nintendo eShop or the PlayStation Store, and I mean, I don't have an Xbox, and I don't know what they call it. Like, I believe it's like the Xbox Store, I think it is. Never owned an Xbox. I mean, my dad did, but I sure as hell didn't. I mean, I was more into PlayStation than Xbox. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I know some people prefer Xbox over PlayStation. Some people prefer PlayStation over Xbox. I mean, we all have different opinions. But that's not what we're talking about. Like, people with different opinions or the console wars. I mean, we're here to talk about glitches. And I made this live stream mainly because glitches. Video game ones. And I'm not really a big fan of video game glitches. And I know there's some glitches out there that you can try to pull off at least, which I've pulled off, again, a couple glitches in Insane Trilogy. But I still enjoy the game overall. Like, well, somewhat. The relic challenges are hard as balls, and trust me, they are. And sometimes it's nearly impossible just to get a gold relic. And the achievements in the Insane Trilogy is to at least get gold or better in time trials. And I'm not trying to pan the game because it's time trials. I mean, I like time trials, but sometimes they are a pain in the ass. Trust me, they are. I mean, see one of my live streams before when I was playing Insane Trilogy. Like 2 live streams of me playing Insane Trilogy. Time trials are hard. Sometimes to me that keeps the ball rolling because it's a challenge. You want to get those achievements or not? It's totally up to you. I mean, I sure as hell want to get those achievements. Because I can have something to do and accomplish something. I mean, they didn't have achievements when I was playing, let's see, when I was playing the classic PlayStation 1 games, or hell, I didn't get any achievements when I was like, when I was still like a Nintendo fan at the time, like more of a Nintendo fan than a PlayStation fan. But then I came back to PlayStation, and it was great. Trilogy was going to be announced, I felt like I want to get a PS4 right away, but no, I didn't get one till my 18th birthday, which passed a couple months ago in 2017. And it's 2018 right now. And it's January. And it's like another topic I mentioned, which again, not the case for today's topic. You know, one thing which I'm gonna get out of that topic about whole birthdays and PS4 and stuff. But I just want to say something about Insane Trilogy. Like, when I first heard it, when it was announced, I was really happy. I mean, I thought that Vicarious Visions and Activision are going to redeem themselves. When I heard that the game had glitches, it felt like I didn't mind at first, but today that has changed. And trust me, I've probably changed for a better. And now I know that glitches in video games are no fun. I mean, some people enjoy glitches in video games because, well, it's fun. But that's just a minority. I mean, do you really want a game that has, like, a lot of glitches, or do you want a game that has, like, no glitches at all? I mean, that's the big question. I mean, I'd rather go with little to no glitches at all. Seriously, just little to no glitches. Sometimes I just don't even like. I just feel like that glitches in video games just don't really feel right. They just feel weird or uncomfortable at times. I mean, look at Sonic 06. It had a lot of glitches, I mentioned. Look at Crash Insanity. You have to find the glitches and perform them. We gotta find some glitches in Twinsanity, which I sure as hell don't. I don't know what the glitches are in Twinsanity. Meaning, that's a rush game that I like. I never experienced any glitches with Twinsanity, like, whatsoever, except for when I noticed that, like, the only glitch, actually, that I noticed was Crash on a hoverboard. It was, like, before the hoverboard was even existed. And, you know, or it felt like that Crash was a statue, and he just moved. Like, he just moved automatically. He didn't even do his running animations, and I experienced that in the Academy of Evil. It's like Classroom Chaos. You know, there's another one, the Evil Twins Final Battle, where it looks like that Cortex is using his his hoverboard, but it's invisible. And he's just holding his gun like he doesn't even care. It's like he's just trying to get that perfect aim. Except he's actually moving. I mean, some glitches can be funny, but in reality, they're only funny for about the first few times. Unless you want to perform that glitch again, if you haven't done that in a long time. I mean, I just don't think that glitches are good in video games a lot. I mean, it's not really that good. That's why I'd say. I agree with you, Crossover Fanatic. The game developers should have taken the time and double checked in case of glitches. Yeah, I wouldn't want to perform a glitch too much because, well, like with action replays, it will corrupt the game itself. And probably the save data. Let's get a new copy. Online. Good luck doing that. Oh yeah, Sonic Boom has glitches. I didn't even bother playing the game because probably knew it was going to be bad. I didn't even pick the game up and assume the worst, that it's going to be pretty bad. I mean, there was one glitch. It was like before the game was patched, where you can like jump, pause. Like felt like more than the multi jump. Just got to perform correctly, but there was a patch version for that in Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric, and well, good luck trying to do that glitch now in the latest patch or installment, because it ain't gonna happen. Look up a YouTube video and then just see it for yourself in a YouTube video, and not when you're gonna be playing the game yourself, because well, yeah, the patch is there, and there's no way you can remove it. I don't think there's a way you can go back to previous patches, not that I really know of. No, it's not really fun. I mean, again, it's no fun to have glitches in the video game. It really isn't. I mean, if Sonic Boom has a lot of glitches, then it's terrible. You know, if there was like one glitch that would make you skip huge amount of areas in a level, I mean, that could be good for speedrunners, I guess you can say that, because they could clear the game so easily and find out where to go, and the next thing you know, there's the end point. You don't have to face any bosses or anything, or sub bosses, I would say. Not just about it. I mean, what can you expect? Glitches are glitches. If they can't be fixed, they can't be fixed. And they're gonna be like that in the game. I mean, unless there was a patch, like the game developers made a patch for the game that prevents that glitch from happening. I mean, that'll be a good thing. I mean, at least they're trying to redeem themselves. I mean, but I don't think Activision and Vicarious Visions would do that, because all they ever want to do is a quick cash and grab. That's all they ever want. Are they even going to bother patching the game? Well, probably not until either the PlayStation 5 comes out or until the end of the PS4 era. Like when games are either stopped selling or the PS4 is about to die and there's no more PlayStation Network services that are available for PS4. I mean, can you imagine that? Or they wouldn't even make the patch at all. Like they just say like, oh, screw it, no patches, screw it. Just put in the DLC for about like $2 or $3. Was it like, what was it? The level? Oh, Stormy Ascent. Yeah, there you go. Put Stormy Ascent, that scrapped level, in there for about $2 or $3, and we can make some money off it. Like again, quick cash and grabs. Not a big fan of those, really. Yeah, well, some games don't have glitches at all, or they have like minor glitches that are pretty rare to perform. Unless you know how to do it, that is. Or hell, look it up online and ruin the experience, and then the game will probably get bad reviews overall. I mean, again, if the game had a patch for it, then well, looks like you won't be experiencing that. You won't be performing or experiencing that glitch anytime soon. Gotta look it up on the internet, like YouTube, because YouTube is the #1 place where you can find almost anything. Almost anything, really. Because I know nowadays all you can ever find is either if it's like kid-friendly stuff or stupid trends like the 3 a.m. challenge, which I have never seen any videos of the 3 a.m. challenge because it's probably dead already. It still might be going on, but I don't see it whenever I go on YouTube, so it's pretty much irrelevant. I mean, some games feel like some gaming franchises also feel irrelevant as well, like the Crash franchise, for example. Because some people probably have never heard of Crash after the original trilogy, or hell, even after CTR. And I actually heard that from Voice Legends live stream. And, it's probably like a true fact. Because I bet some people haven't even played, either if it was like, what, Crash Bash, or was the Wrath of Cortex, or even Crash Nitro Kart. Hell, even Crash Tag Team Racing and Twin Sanity. I bet some people have played the original trilogy and the Insane trilogy, but I don't think some people have ever heard of the other Crash games because it's, well, pretty obvious that some people don't even mention them. I mean, Crash Bandicoot has probably, could have officially died and either should have been kept dead or something, but, luckily for us, Vicarious Visions and Activision revived them because they know they want they know the fans want a Crash game, and they got one. The Insane Trilogy. I mean, there's some people that appreciate it, but there's some people that wanted a Crash game, like a brand spanking new Crash game, like not like some kind of you know warped clone, like the Wrath of Cortex, or advanced ports of the Crash games, like Crash Bandicoot XS slash The Huge Adventure, or Crash Bandicoot, or Crash 2 Entranced, or Crash and Spyro Fusion, Crash Bandicoot Purple, Ripto's Rampage, and Spyro the Dragon Orange, The Cortex Conspiracy. Sometimes remasters aren't really a good thing at all. Because remasters are, well, just basically it's like the same game, but it's either on a different console, like for example, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or it was like, well, what I meant to say was, either if it's like the same game but on a different console, like Mario Kart Deluxe, or it has different graphics, like the Insane Trilogy, like way different graphics. I mean, I know the Insane Trilogy is at its finest. Well, has the same graphics games, which, yeah, I can tell because Activision Vicarious Visions used the same engine that Activision would use in the Skylanders series. I mean, I used to play Skylanders a lot. I used to be a Skylanders fanboy, but I don't play Skylanders oftenly. I mean, I don't. If I had Skylanders Imaginators, then, I might be playing it right now. Like, from time to time. I mean, I could be playing it from time to time, but probably only on the PS4. And I know that the majority of Skylanders games that I owned are on Nintendo Wii U. I only have one Skylanders game that was for the 3DS. I mean, that's about it. That's it. The one thing I don't like to see is the future of Crash Bandicoot. The bad future. Just like the whole Teen Titans Go thing. Like how Teen Titans Go has, like Teen Titans Go is a really shitty show. It's really bad. And that's just my opinion. I've got a lot of people, and I bet a lot of people agree with me. Because, I mean, Teen Titans Go is a really, really bad show. And I just don't want the Crash franchise to go that route like Teen Titans did. It's not just shows, but also merchandise as well, because what I've heard, Teen Titans Go is more about the merchandise more rather than the show itself. And that's just plain stupid, if you ask me. You know, I don't want, and so I just don't want Crash to go that route, like what Teen Titans did, because if you take that route, like the whole Cartoon Network route, where it's like, oh, more merchandise, and where it's actually not the best in the slightest, and less shows, and more of that one show that's aired simultaneously, like every 15 or 30 minutes, well, you know it's already going to be bad. Yeah, remasters are for nostalgia. And they're only for nostalgia purposes. But that's about it. Remasters are only for nostalgia. Exactly, crossover fanatic. Crash didn't come back for nothing. Visions and Activision revived the Bandicoot from his little hibernation or death. And if it wasn't for Vicarious Visions and Activision, we wouldn't be getting the Ensign we wouldn't be getting the Ensign trilogy. And the Ensign trilogy means no over 2 million sales. I mean, over more than 2 million copies sold. It may be like a little big, but it may not be big enough. I mean, still, it did sell well. I mean, if it sold really, really well, that'd be awesome. I mean, it could have sold really better if there was no glitches in the Insane trilogy, because I bet some people have returned their copies because of the glitches. I can probably see that right now. Like, I'm thinking of that image. It's like someone experienced those glitches and they're going to return it. Like, a whole lot of glitches. I'm lucky that I didn't experience a lot of glitches in the Insane trilogy. I only experienced like 2 glitches. And that is in the second game of Crash Bandicoot. Crash 2 Cortex Strikes Back is the only one in the Insane trilogy that I had a couple glitches with. And that's about it. Did I experience any glitches with Crash 1? Well, I've experienced some stressing because I tried to jump on the rope on the high road and a road to nowhere for the time trial and get a gold relic and struggled a million times. But I don't think I'll consider that as a glitch. It's just basically tightrope walk. I mean, it's basically tightrope walking, like as you would see in the circus, which I don't see a lot of them nowadays. One second, this might be a little intermission. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna have to take a little intermission because got a little phone call. It's my mama, as usual. That's all right. It won't be. I won't take that long. Hopefully, I won't. Don't make any promises, but hopefully, I don't take that long. So again, be right back, and hopefully, you will stay for what I have to say, like for the rest of the live stream, and then, well, I'll just end it. Like whenever I'm done talking about the topic. So, anyways, sit back, relax, get something to drink, like nice glass of water or some Coca-Cola or any beverage you would like. Get some popcorn or any snacks you would like, and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry if that took long, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I took that long. So yeah, anyways, since I've been out for like the past millions of years, I'm finally back. And that's a good thing. Let's see. Apparently my friend Joseph Hines is doing a Q&A request. It's not just ordinary Q&A, it's let's see, one for what was it? Voice impressions. So I might check that out later. So anyways, I kept you waiting long enough. And now I'm probably gonna like finish this live stream. Now, kind of break for what I was gonna say from when I left, but it's all right. Well, the only thing that, well, and I do remember this. I believe this is where I left off. But if Crash took the Teen Titans Go route, aka the Cartoon Network route, things wouldn't be good. They'd be, well, pretty terrible because, again, it's more about the merchandise than the actual franchise itself, and that's the games. The Crash games. The games that started everything. No, that's the original trilogy that started everything. I mean, I loved the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. I mean, the originals are one of my favorites. The first Crash game was really hard. The N-Sync trilogy of Crash 1 made up for it. But the only thing would be like equally as hard, which there is a difference, and I'm going to say it right now. The difficulty between the original Crash and the N-Sync trilogy version is that in the original Crash, you have to break every crate in a level without dying. Yes, that means you cannot lose a life whatsoever in order to get that gem. That's next to impossible to me. And you know what? You think that's not as hard? Good luck trying to save, because you're going to have to save at certain points in the original Crash Bandicoot. This was only effective in the first game, and the first game only. That's it. Crash 2 and beyond, they just had the casual crystals, and you can save any time you want. And that was actually really good. I mean, I believe that Twinsanity had the Crash 1 formula where you can only save at certain points. But that's just about it. I mean, collecting the gems in Twinsanity is, well, it's a little hard, but not as hard as the original Crash. Because trust me, I've played the original Crash, and that makes me want to play Crash 2 and 3 more often now. I mean, even though I don't play them as often, because now sometimes I have to worry about my channel, which I've created, and I still continue to make that awesome plush content till this day. I mean, I have to care about the fans like you guys. And I do care about you guys. I mean, this is why I make plush videos for you guys, and I'm planning on making more plush videos this year, but first I have to get a new camera, because the one is broke, and I received a new one yesterday, but for not taking any of the videos like the test recordings that I've done onto my laptop, which is a real shame. But let's get out of that topic. I believe that'll be like I don't know if I'll talk about that in another stream, but probably not. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Let's just get back to Crash real quick. The glitches and the future of the Bandicoots that we all know and love. Everyone's favorite orange marsupial, Crash Bandicoots. Well, if I were to think about the Crash franchise in the future, if it was really good, if it had a good future, then there would be like more Crash games that would probably be like, still glitchy as ever. Maybe we'll see what happens in the near future. I mean, if the future of everyone's favorite orange marsupial turns out to be great. I mean, if the game sold more than 2 million copies and going on to like 3 million or more than that, I mean, that'd be a good thing as long as they patch the damn game. I'm looking at you, Vicarious Visions and Activision. You better patch that damn game up. Otherwise, you won't be making a lot of money. And that precious money is going to go down the drain. And Insane Trilogy might be getting a slight thumbs up or thumbs down or mixed reception. And if the next Crash game is not good, then it gets a thumbs down, then guess what? Ain't going to be no thumbs up or double thumbs up. It'll be a double thumbs down for all I know. I mean, that'd be the bad future. And also, more merchandise. That wouldn't be a good thing, really, because sometimes merchandise can be a good thing. You can collect it. But you can collect some merchandise, like, for example, Funko pop figures and plushies and, like, coffee mugs, oddly enough. Which I believe there's... I mean, I bet no gaming franchise is complete without their very own coffee mug. I don't drink coffee. I prefer to drink hot chocolate. So, I mean, you got to make your decisions, and you got to make them wisely. I mean, if I were to make a game, it would have to have 0 glitches, like, at least little glitches or none at all. And I'd be going for no glitches at all. No glitches, period. I would just like to have it. It's really good. It plays smooth. It has really great graphics. And hope for the best that it will get really good reviews. Like at least a 9 out of 10 at least. I mean, if Activision didn't rush Vicarious Visions, then the game could have been a success. I mean, like more than just a success, and not just a game where it has like mixed opinions. Because nowadays, we all know what the future Crash will hold, but we'll see what happens. Again, I fear the future of Crash Bandicoot because he wasn't. I mean, again, he didn't come back for nothing. He most likely he sure as hell didn't come back for good. He came back because, you know, they know what the fans want. A Crash game. And again, some Crash fans praise the game, some fans just wanted a new Crash game, like a completely original Crash game, where it's a really different plot. The examples, let's see, the examples of Twinsanity and, let's see, Crash of the Titans before Mind Over Mutants. I mean, those were some original ideas back in the past. And Titans was surely an original idea before Mind Over Mutant. I mean, Mind Over Mutant just had, like, well, different models. And that's just about it. You're right about one thing, Sonic the Hedgehog fan 457. Activision just wants money. That's why they milk their favorite franchises, Skylanders and Call of Duty. Well, I don't really think, I don't think so for Skylanders now because they said that they didn't make another Skylanders game. I'm guessing because it was because it was due to lack of ideas, I guess. I mean, that's what you get for making a game for about an entire year. Which I have to say, like, that's somewhat good, I guess. But, I would prefer to have Skylanders as unlockables in-game, not as toys. But oh well, that's just something new, and I thought it was actually a good idea at the time. A Toys to Life video game. The next thing you know, companies like Disney and Lego made their own versions of Skylanders. I mean, Disney Infinity didn't even. I mean, Disney Infinity had some. It looked good. Didn't look too appealing in my opinion. I mean, Lego Dimensions, well, not really as well. Sure, they had Sonic, but in my opinion, that just wasn't really enough. I mean, a game can't be great just because it has a very memorable character, like Crash, for example, in the Skylanders franchise, or Sonic in Lego Dimensions, or hell, Mario in a completely different game. Let's see if if there was like a character from the Mario franchise, which I know it. Well, yeah, same goes with Skylanders, which is Bowser and Donkey Kong. I mean, they were also in Skylanders. But that's probably about it. But back to what I was saying about video game glitches. I mean, I probably got off topic enough. Like, more than enough than I already have. And this will be like a lesson to any game developer, which I will mention in a couple of minutes or so. And this will be my question to everybody, not just the game developers, but also, I mean, it's not just the fans or anyone who plays video games, but also the game developers and the companies as well. Do you think video game glitches are fun, or are they just a total flop that will ruin the gaming experience? That's what you gotta decide. Maybe a little tough decision, but you gotta decide. You can't just assume that video game glitches are a good thing. And also, you can't assume. I mean, you also can't assume that a rushed game is going to be really good in an instant. Because some games who are rushed and have some glitches in them aren't the best in the slightest. I mean, Crash to Insanity was, and I kid you not, it was rushed. I did mention this before, and there was a lot of content that was like cut from the game due to the rush development. And Traveler's Tales was rushed because of Universal. You can't rush something. It's going to look bad. Or somewhat good, but not good enough. This will be like a lesson for either Activision, Universal, or any other company that just likes to rush their games if they want it out on a certain time frame. They want to be out, and they wanted it to be out by that date. Otherwise, the fans will be disappointed. Sure, they'll be disappointed that it wouldn't be out on that specific date, But it would be a good thing because you get to work on the game a little more. Include all of the cut content, which I wished wasn't cut from the game in the first place. You know, Twinsanity. That's one of the games, for example. I bet there's some other games that had cut content as well and weren't in the final product. Like in the final version of that game. Because rush development. And not to mention the glitches, which should be mentioned because of the title of this live stream. And again, glitches are sometimes, well, sometimes they can be funny, but, you know, after a while, they aren't funny at all, really, when you think about it. I mean, I feel like that if there were more video game glitches in, like, a game, like, a whole lot, the game will be unplayable. Again, look at Sonic 06. I mean, CrashBandicootPlush had some glitches, but compare that to N. Sync Trilogy. I am not trying to hate on the games whatsoever. I'm not trying to hate on any games. It's just my opinion that glitches aren't fun. They can be funny, but they sure as hell aren't fun. I mean, sure, they can be fun at times on, I don't know, some or rare occasions, or to some people they can be fun, but there's a lot of people that don't like glitches in video games. They don't even like glitches in video games in general. They don't. They prefer to have a video game that is polished and runs smooth with the best graphics out there. I mean, sure, can be like great or beautiful, but you also have to worry about the gameplay. You got to worry about the gameplay. That's the number one thing you should worry about of how the game plays. Like playing the game, let's just say that. Well, actually, the gameplay itself. See how the game plays. The next thing you know, if it's good or not, or if it has a glitch, make sure you fix it. Because otherwise, if there is, well, a glitch that you can easily perform, well, and it does, well, ugh, what am I saying? Well, it's not going to be fun a lot. I mean, besides, if you perform glitches, and this was mentioned, and I even mentioned this before. Actually, no, I didn't mention it. One of my friends said in the live chat, it will corrupt the game. You think action replays will corrupt your save file? If you like your save file, I mean, a corrupted game is far worse. Would you rather have a corrupted save file and have it deleted, or just have the game unplayable and really corrupted that it freezes every 5 seconds? Another thing you got to think about. Yeah, it's never fun to have any video game glitches. I mean, that's why I usually prefer to play games that don't have a lot of glitches whatsoever. I mean, I played N. Sync Trilogy, and I didn't really experience a lot of glitches. I only saw a couple of them, and that was in the second game, the remastered. Well, the remastered version of Crash 2 Cortex Strikes Back, which is included in the N. Sync Trilogy. I mean, did I experience any other glitches? Well, no, not as of right now, but we'll see what happens. If I experience a glitch, then that's it. I'll probably, I mean, I would like to point it out myself, but, I mean, a lot of people point it out on YouTube already, so what's the point of doing it now? And again, I'm not trying to hate on the game. N. Sync Trilogy is a good game, in my opinion. It just needs to be polished. That's what I think. because nowadays nowadays, like if you have a glitch video game, some people will enjoy it a little bit, but not a whole lot. And it wouldn't be a good thing if Insane Trilogy, it wouldn't be a good thing if a video game had glitches like simultaneously. It really wouldn't be good at all. It would just be like a piece of garbage. Like trash. So here's one thing. I mean, I'm going to be ending the live stream because I'm going to have to eat like sooner or later. So anyways, this will be like a lesson to game developer. All right. Yeah, like I knew what's going to happen. So anyways, going to end the stream. This will be a lesson to anybody who is into game developing or who are game developers themselves. Please take care of those games. Make them look polished. Let there be little to no glitches whatsoever. In fact, let there be no glitches. Because video games aren't fun when there's glitches. The one thing you gotta worry about, like two things you gotta worry about the most are the graphics and the gameplay. And I can even go as far as the story, which that's also another one. The story. You should care about the story, the gameplay, and the graphics. That's it. And you should also care about the game. You should also care about whether or not there's glitches in the game. Because if there is, remove those glitches immediately. Otherwise, if the game's released and there's glitches and you get some feedback, you gotta be fast and make a patch. I mean, make a patch for the game. I mean, sure, maybe sure, it's just a patch, but at least you're accomplishing something. Like, make sure it's a patch that will make the game, like, stabilized. And make sure that it doesn't have any glitches whatsoever. Let's hope for the best, and oh my goodness. Anyways, I gotta go now. Life lesson, don't rush at all. Oh, never mind, the beeping stopped. So, I mean, again, I'm going to go now because, again, I do not want to waste any more time doing this live stream that I already have and, well, eat dinner late. So, anyways, like I said before, take all the time you need to make that game and do not rush whatsoever and check for glitches. Because if you leave those glitches in there, the game won't be that great. And the sales won't be the best. Bargain or bust. And this will go out to any game company or game developers. Either if it's, let's see, either if it goes for people who would like to make games for the PC or for the PS4 or Xbox One, or any future console or handheld. Take pride and care in just take pride and care and take all the time you need to make your game as great as possible. You have to have a great story, great graphics, and most especially great gameplay overall. And again, make sure you check for glitches. Because if you have no glitch, because if you check those glitches and they're bad enough and you think they're going to be really bad, remove them. Remove those glitches. And if there's glitches in the game, well, make a patch for it. And if that patch works and there's no glitches in that game, that's a huge achievement right there. That's a huge achievement right there you've accomplished.